Once upon a time in the ancient and majestic kingdom of Uzoma, there lived a noble and wise king named Jahi. He was loved by his people and ruled with grace and strength. His joy knew no bounds when he married a breathtakingly beautiful woman named Queen Mia. In time, the queen gave birth to twin daughters, Princess Lila and Princess Mirabelle. But in Uzoma, tradition was both a blessing and a burden. The customs of the land decreed that only a male heir could inherit the throne. Without a son, the kingship would pass to another family, stripping King Jahi's lineage of its crown. As the years passed and the twin princesses blossomed into graceful young women of 18, a cloud of sorrow began to hang over the royal palace. Every day, Queen Mia, ever loving and dutiful, would greet her husband with warm meals and soft words. Yet each time the king would shout in frustration, "Give me a son, give me a son, give me a son!" Tears would flood Queen Mia's eyes. Night after night she cried into her pillow. Sometimes in despair she would go to the Queen Mother Oyugo and pour out her sorrow. "It's not my fault, Mother. Why does he treat me this way?" Queen Mother Oyugo, wise and calm, would hold her close and whisper, "Go, my daughter. I will speak to my son." But things only worsened. King Jahi was tormented by strange, terrifying dreams, a woman cloaked in black, cradling a baby boy. Each time he would beg her, "Give me the child, please give me my son." And each time he would wake with a scream echoing through the palace walls. Queen Mia would rush in only to be met with the same bitter cries. "Give me a son, give me a son, give me a son." She wept. She prayed to the gods of the land. She offered sacrifices, but still no sign of pregnancy. Frustrated and desperate, the king called a council of elders. His right-hand man, the Onowu, urged him to take a second wife. Another elder suggested they seek answers from the village chief priest. Yet each time the chief priest was summoned, he would simply say, "The gods are silent." The villagers began to murmur. Some whispered that the king was cursed. Others blamed Queen Mia, calling her a witch. As sadness spread across the kingdom, one man rejoiced, the king's uncle. He had 2 sons of his own and believed the throne would soon belong to his family. But the gods are not blind. The king's rage grew. He refused Queen Mia's meals. He yelled at the palace maids and guards. One day, the twin princesses, heartbroken, approached their father. "Daddy," they asked gently, "why do you hate Mummy because of us? Are we not good children? Why do you make Mummy cry every day?" For a moment, King Jahi was silent. Then he said, "Sweethearts, I don't hate your mother. And you are the best daughters any father could ask for. Don't ever think that again." But before they could say another word, he waved them away. "Go upstairs," he commanded. One afternoon in the palace council hall, an elder spoke up. "If our own chief priest remains silent, let us seek help from a neighboring village." After some heated debate, the king agreed. But on their journey, they were stopped by a drunkard on the road. "Go back," he shouted. "What you seek is in your kingdom." The king, annoyed, tossed him a bottle of wine and some coins. The man staggered away and the royal party continued their journey. At last, they arrived at the neighboring village and were welcomed by the village chief priest. But the message was the same. "What you seek is in your kingdom, go home." The king, now confused and furious, returned to the palace. Queen Mia tried to ask what the priest had said, but as always he shouted, "Give me a son, give me a son, give me a son." Time passed, no answers came. In another council meeting, an elder proposed returning to the neighboring priest to ask what he truly meant. The king agreed. Once there, the chief priest repeated, "What you seek is in your kingdom." This time the king pressed further. "Tell me what you mean." The priest gazed at him and replied, "Ask your mother what happened 35 years ago before you were born. Then you will understand." Troubled, the king returned home and summoned Queen Mother Oyugo. Gently, she revealed the buried truth. 35 years ago, during the reign of your father, King Uzoma, we were desperate for a child. We begged the gods and made a vow that if they gave us a son, we would offer yearly sacrifices in gratitude. The gods answered our prayers, but your father, he forgot his promise. The king was stunned. He wept. "Why didn't you tell me? I've been so cruel to my innocent wife." That night, in deep remorse, the king begged Queen Mia for forgiveness. And together with the villagers and the chief priest, they offered a great sacrifice to the gods. The curse was lifted. 3 months later, Queen Mia became pregnant. 9 months after that, she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. The entire kingdom erupted in celebration. They named the child Uzoma, after his grandfather, the new heir to the throne of Uzoma, and so peace returned to the palace. The people rejoiced. The queen smiled again, and King Jahi at last understood that destiny can only be fulfilled when promises to the gods are kept and the innocent are honored.